morning.
Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are on our, what should we call it?
Amazing.
Wonderful, glorious, crazy, mixed up.
Planet.
Yeah.
Okay. That handled it all.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about something first before we even begin.
Okay.
Listening.
All right. What about listening? Would you like people to hear newly today?
Well, listening is not thinking. It's allowing what someone says to come in without filtering it through what you already know to see whether you already know this, agree with it, or disagree with it, or have a better idea. Listening is receiving another's communication, as in taking it in, not looking to see whether you want to take it in or not, but just take it in as it comes from another. Now, here's the thing. Another person's point of view is perfectly correct from their point of view. So they can't be saying or doing their life wrong. They're just saying what's true for them in that moment. Whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant, because listening is not about agreeing or disagreeing. So this creates a possibility for you to experience something newly, for you to actually get here in the current moment, rather than be one step removed by thinking about the current moment. See, most people say you should live in the moment. Well, not if you're thinking about living in the moment, because that keeps you out of the moment.
Today's episode is called Blink. And
tie it together, honey. Tie it together.
I realize, well, the description we've given is it's amazing what you can see in an Augenblick, or which is German for blink of an eye or the moment. And I realize that as you're talking about hearing what's being said.
Well, about listening.
Yes, but actually hearing.
Yes.
It's similar to an Augenblick or a blink. In a blink, you see, and then after that, you talk about what you've seen.
To yourself.
So today, it is likely that at first, you will be talking to yourself about what we're saying quite a bit. As you keep engaging with what is in a non-judgmental framework where you simply hear what's happening to hear what's happening, chances are that talking nature will relax in you.
Well, our approach is not psychotherapeutic. So it's not about changing or fixing anything. It's really about accessing and living in the current moment of your life, in the experience of being alive, rather than your thoughts about what you prefer, what you agree with, what you like, what you don't like.
It's about discovering who you are, how you are right now.
As you are.
I know I've spoken about this before, but Shya and I have participated in Pilates, which is a form of exercise, for probably 35 years, maybe more. And in the past number of years, I generally go 3 times a week for a half-hour session with a coach. And at the very beginning, we do the same series of exercises every time. And it's a little bit like we're talking about listening. And when I lay down on, they call it a reformer, which is kind of fun. It's a machine and I'm doing my footwork. I get to see how I am that day. Some days I'm speedy. Some days I think. Some days I'm naturally very precise. Some days I'm a little askew, like one foot is jogged off to the left or the right. One is not better than another. It is about discovering what is all in a blink without judging what you see. Let's take our first guest.
Yes.
Dagmar, welcome to being here. Tell people where you're zooming in from.
Hi, I'm Dagmar from Hamburg in Germany. So I know what an Augenblick is. And when I first read the title, I just immediately thought of the saying, blink and you miss it. You know, you sometimes you close your eyes for a second and whatever you wanted to see is not there anymore.
Mm.
So I the question that runs around in my head about an Augenblick, a blink of an eye, is that sometimes I feel that I want to, I'm waiting for the big stuff to happen, you know? Like you often say that the moment is all
Love
there
that.
is, you know, like each moment, like this is
Mm.
where my life is happening. But then, you know, there are these mundane moments and big stuff.
Well, but here's the thing. They're only mundane when you think they're mundane, when you're thinking about other things. Because if you're really here, even the mundane moments aren't mundane.
Hmm.
Well, it's interesting that we've been trained in the idea blink and you'll miss it. And it's not blink and you'll see it.
Hmm. That's true.
You know, it's very interesting, Dagmar. Of course, you think the big things are going to produce it. That's what we've all been trained in. And fortunately for you, you have accomplished a lot of the big things. You have a doctorate in English, you have a master's in psychology, you have a successful marriage, you have a successful career, you've accomplished a lot of big things. But when you are not here, all of those things are irrelevant. And in fact, when you are here, those things are irrelevant.
And special isn't special until you make it special. When you put the value of it. So if you were in the audience, our audience listening today, and you're in a trying to develop relationships, like or a romantic relationship, then if we're talking about your degrees,
Yes.
what you've accomplished, that becomes a mundane moment.
Right, because it's not the correct topic, right?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So you frame your life with the
3-year agendas.
that's the word I was looking for.
We do finish each other's
Yes,
sentences.
that was the word I was looking for. See, you have agendas. Some of them are hidden to you now because they happened a long time ago, where you said, I will be accomplished when I have 2 degrees.
Yes.
And the
Well,
big thing
yeah.
is always changing. And of course, it is framed by your agendas. And suddenly I'm reminded, bless you, well, we were a while ago, we rented space over at Camp Tecumseh. It's a local place run by the Salvation Army. They don't rent space anymore, but when they did, we did some sleepaway camp there for big kids. We did courses there. And I remember the day they were showing us around. We got in a little golf cart and they were, showing us the different parts of the facility. And one of the things they were doing at that time was running camps for inner city kids who had never been to the country. And I recall the fellow telling us that one of the children said, "This was so great." And he said, "Really? What was your favorite part?" And the little boy said, "I actually got 3 meals every day."
Wow.
So they did all of these camping things and they got to play games and they got to be with people and campfires at night. And the best part was 3 meals every day.
Mm.
So for him, that was the big thing because he was hungry.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know, when you're here, Dagmar, there was something I recall an experience of being with you. I
Okay.
don't know if it was on a seminar virtually or whether you and I were speaking via Zoom, but you had taken a bookmaking class where you learned how to pick papers and fold them and make them into notebooks
And bind them.
and bind them. And they were, it was like an exquisite piece of art. But what I recall was not so much you holding up the finished product, but you caressing a page and feeling the texture and the weight of the
Mm.
color and the color of the paper you chose for the outside and the inside.
Mm.
So it's not like the big thing was the completion, it was the experience of the book itself.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So,
See,
maybe,
we've all been raised, Dagmar, to have goals
yes.
and to go for these goals as though the production of the goal will produce satisfaction and well-being in your life. Well, you've achieved your goals, but that doesn't mean that the satisfaction is long-lived.
No, that's
In
true.
fact, it doesn't even mean that there's satisfaction when you achieve the goal.
No. But that voice is still like that idea is still in there. It probably,
It's going to be there forever. But here's the thing: no two things can occupy you at the same time. So you can either have your when you're in neutral, the voice in your head is loud.
mm,
When you are engaged in something, the voice in your head becomes background noise or makes no noise at all.
or
Have you
I,
noticed that?
yeah, yeah, I have. Yes, that's true.
So it's about engagement. It's about engagement in your life in the current moment.
Yeah.
That's where the magic lives, in the current moment of your life, in a blink,
In an Augenblick. Yes.
in an Augenblick. That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Have you ever just turned your head in your home and you see something and it's like, oh, like recently, in fact, I just did it now to
Mm.
demonstrate it to myself. And I realized I have a old phone system on the far side of my desk. We used to have two because I had an assistant who would sit at this other desk. I have not picked up that particular telephone in years. It is just a dust collector. So, like, if I just see it, and recently, because I've been playing with one of our upcoming courses, Transformational Time and Project Management,
Mhm.
I've been playing around with what I see in a blink without judging myself for what I see. So when I see that, I like, whoa, it's something that exists there that has not been seen for a long, long time, or it's just been included. And I see, wow, if I take that and I take it to recycle, I
Mhm.
have all this space on my desk.
Mhm.
I see it in a blink, but I have to be here in order to see it.
But if you got an agenda, it blinds you to everything else you see. So if you're busy trying to get somewhere, you don't see the things that are around you. You're heading somewhere.
And sometimes you need that agenda in that
Sometimes that's appropriate.
you've got emails to do, or you have a pile
Of
of your
papers to
students'
grade.
papers to grade, and you need to get them done, and you do.
But you're right. It's an experience that I've had, just kind of looking whenever I slow down a little bit, that I just look and see kind of what's right there, and then I get more done than if I have a to-do list and I follow it and I tick things off and I spend time making another to-do list and so if I just do what needs to be done, it feels like I'm not doing much of anything, but it's amazing because it's all those little things. But
It's
see,
kind of like
I have that
what
little
you're
and
used,
big thing still in there. That's interesting. Wow.
but what are you satisfying?
You have
Your
that
soul
little
or your mind?
ambition still in there,
Little,
did you say?
little, the label, it's a small thing or a big
Oh,
thing.
Yeah, I just
Of
call
course.
that.
ambition.
Well, of course you
Mhm.
do. That's your mind. You're
Yeah.
not going to get rid of your mind.
And it'll always talk at you, especially when you're not engaged
Mm,
in what you're up to in that moment.
yeah. That's so cool.
It is,
Yeah.
but so are you.
I saw something
And
funny.
you see, you disregard that too. You know, he always says that. Hey,
Yes, you're right. It's like yeah, and
you're
part of
still
me
right.
doesn't
You're
want to hear
right.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't let that in.
Well, you
No.
wouldn't want to be arrogant or prideful. It's one of the deadly sins, right?
Mhm.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely being with you today.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Okay, here we go. It's time for our listener feedback spotlight, where we hear from one of our listeners about how transformation has impacted her life or his life.
If you want to learn more about our seminars, any of the upcoming virtual courses, visit transformationmadeeasy.com.
That is transformation made easy, easy.com.
I love it.
Thank you.
This is Christina from Dortmund in Germany, and I love the podcast Being Here from Ariel and Shya because it supports me in day-to-day life just to listen and be with people who speak and just to take a breath and relax into myself.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
Our next Living Made Easy virtual 2-hour seminars are next Monday, evening time in the New York City time zone, and then evening Tuesday in the European time zone. You can find all of those upcoming Living Made Easies at transformationmadeeasy.com. Just a few weeks now till we do Creativity and Intuition live in New York City. It's Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday.
And Monday, we're doing an open evening in New York City.
So that's the 7th, 8th, and 9th for the weekend. And then the 10th is the open evening. So you are invited. As I mentioned earlier, Transformational Time and Project Management is the virtual weekend we're doing in September 26th and 27th. And then we head off to Hamburg for Improv Your Way to the Moment on Thursday with special guests.
Thursday, October 29th.
Thank you. Andy Schneeflock and Magical Relationships.
October 30th to November 1st. And then we're doing a Monday night in Hamburg on the 2nd of November.
In case you wanted to join us for Costa Rica, then a weekend seminar in this calendar year is a prerequisite. So you are invited to any and all of these. Just 2 weeks till our 1000th episode of
Being Here.
And we want to thank you for listening.
Yes.
So I will thank you for listening. Let's take our next guest, shall we? Okay.
Yes, Wendy.
Yes, Wendy, where you?
Hi.
Hi.
I am dialing in from Elmhurst, Queens.
Well, welcome.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have you here.
Yes, I'm very excited to be here. In thinking about this topic, the word, which totally threw me for a loop because I had all these things come up, but the word intimacy came up for me. And I was just thinking, it's these little moments of the blink in the eye where they're just like a bloom of intimacy. You're kissing someone and then they ask you, hey, did you take out the garbage? Like, in that moment. And I just feel like there's a departure of building intimacy in these little blink of a moments, or
only if you treat your husband asking you if you took out the garbage or vice versa as something to resist or say no to. It can be an intimate moment.
See, if the subject changes, it's only that you want something else, so you say it's no longer intimate. See, you have an agenda.
yes.
Called, and in this case, it's called intimacy. And then if there's a break in the continuity of that agenda line, you say, well, the intimacy is gone now because it isn't following through along the lines of what you are wanting or expecting. It changed. So you then get upset because change is upsetting. And you say, well, you're not being intimate with me now.
I don't know which person says, have you taken out the garbage? And I'm going to make it your husband, just for this, just to make it easier. So you guys are having a kiss, you break. He goes, oh, have you taken out the garbage? What you haven't seen is you've had enough of the kissing type of intimacy. Yeah, baby. Our cat's meowing like, yeah. You've had enough of that. Otherwise, it's like he screwed up. He ruined my moment.
Yeah.
And so you then ruin your own experience of intimacy with a conversation that he ruined the moment.
So you don't take him by the face and go, no, baby, I haven't done that yet. Let's go do it together.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It is like I have a script and he went off script and I
there you go. There you go.
So is it you who has a script, or is the script contained in Wendy's mind?
Yeah, it's Wendy's mind.
See, Wendy, you could get interested in how it flows, where it goes, because it's always got a different path, this little river called your mind.
Yeah.
It meanders. It doesn't go to what you want all the time.
Back when Shya and I were, in the 80s, when we were taking courses on sexual intimacy, back with a university, one of the things they talked about was, I'm putting this in quotes, peaking, like where you bring a person up a little bit and then you back away, and then you bring them up a little bit and you back away, and then eventually when they finally orgasm, there's a whole lot more sensation. So if you have the interest in intimacy, you have the kiss, you go away a little bit, you go away a little bit, and before you know it, there's like this framework, this beauty between the two of you, rather than driving through to the script in your mind, which, by the way, is always a repeat of the past.
Yeah.
Because you can only make a script from what you already know.
You can't discover what is if you fill it with what you want from what you know. See, what you want is spontaneity, yes?
Yes. Yes.
But what you're asking or suggesting is that there is a diversion from script. Well, script isn't spontaneous.
That's true.
Once we discovered I had breast cancer, and prior to having the surgery or even knowing how the severity of it, there were mornings where Shya and I got up and sat very quietly in our living room, watched the sun lighten the sky, and we would sit there together and we'd be kind of leaning on each other and talking about whatever came to mind, whether it was our concerns or, and we didn't have the answers. And it was incredibly intimate because suddenly our life had gone off script. And as I've regained my health or have been moving through what they call the breast cancer journey, I find it more challenging not to rush off to try to produce things for the future, but to just simply be where I am in the mornings and enjoying myself or enjoying my company with Shya, or sometimes the cat if I'm up early and she comes and sits on my lap. It's so easy to say, oh yeah, the cat was talking. She always does that. Or to include it and relax into what is.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, I think the off script thing, because I lost my job about a month ago, and I feel like there's a lot of the familiar or the scripts. it's not that it's gone, but I just see that. Yeah, I just feel like what I have leaned on is not. I don't know how to explain it. Other than I just feel like I've been going on a script, and the script is changing, and that's I don't know.
There's something you just said that struck me as a false note.
Okay.
You said I lost my job about a month ago.
Did you put it in a drawer somewhere and forgot where it was?
I forgot where it went.
I mean, you knew for some time that it was very likely that this job was coming to an end, that they were putting in a whole different structure for which you were not a part.
And I am absolutely clear that you wanted out of there.
So when you say that, you were like the victim or like
the victim of the circumstance,
and they
rather
rejected you because you were not good enough, as
That's
opposed
right.
to you. I completed that job and I'm in the midst of creating a new lifestyle for myself.
Yep.
That is so cool. I just did that. Wow.
That's right.
Like,
You lost it. You didn't lose it.
I've never seen you be as brilliant as you've been recently. For those of you who don't know, Shya and I have been going on a long walk to nowhere, which is this book that we've been writing for basically about 10 years. It's just been percolating, and we haven't been driving forward. But once we got it to the place where we're putting the manuscript into the document, we reached out to Wendy to once again
do her magic,
and she came up with the cover in the blink of an eye.
But it was a brilliant cover. It
is stunning. It represents the stillness, the movement, the intimacy of being out on a river.
Yeah. I mean,
this
it was
is not someone who lost Her job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That is a story that
And it's a story you tell yourself and feel bad as if you did something wrong to lose this job. Look, did you date before you met Madhu?
yes.
Your husband
Yes.
did.
Did you do something wrong that those people went away?
That you lost them?
No. I
Did
mean,
you
I think,
think you did something wrong
yeah,
when you broke up?
yeah, absolutely.
But had you not broken up, would you have been able to find your current husband?
No,
No.
no.
See, life works out.
You know, I saw a picture of you in Times Square when you did the branding for a company and the brand was on the giant jumbotron in Times Square. You are no less talented now, no less successful now. You're just aiming yourself at a different set of circumstances at the moment. And I'll tell you something, if you really wanted to be in the corporate world right now, you would be. And I see that all in a blink. It is so obvious that you're doing exactly what you want. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, there was this book written by a guy named
Malcolm Gladwell
saying that you could, in the blink of an eye, know everything about a person. And I am really clear that that is an accurate assessment, that when I don't think about someone, I just look and see who they are, I am always accurate.
Yeah.
And so are you.
Yeah.
But we've got all this reasonableness wrapped around our lives. Oh, you can't say that. Shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Well, maybe you can.
Well, it's not about judging a book by its
know.
cover. It's about seeing what's right in front of you for real. You can really see. You can
That is
really
true.
hear. You can really
Yeah.
know. Mhm,
That is true.
mhm.
Yeah.
It's like when you create a book cover, it happens in a blink of an eye.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like a sculptor, like you have a block and you chip away, and it was more like a co-creation, like just stepping away and seeing it and not thinking about it. There was something magical, like wow, like I was inspired by what showed up.
Well, you
And
should be inspired with what shows up. That's your creativity.
And then when you have your default, you're a victim.
yeah, that just yeah, that just I see that is.
Well,
And that's not a Wendy problem. That's a thing.
Here's the other possibility. You have exactly what you want all the time. You want to go sailing? See?
Yes.
It's something you wanted to do, so you're doing that these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that it is amazing. Yes, I do have everything I want.
That's right. In fact, you have nothing you don't want. You want it right up until time you don't want it, and then you get rid of it.
Yeah.
See, Wendy, what if you can't do your life wrong?
What? What if?
Yeah.
And the thing too, Wendy, is if you practice it in the small ways, you see it in the small ways, when you come to the big life choices, you'll see it's true also. Sometimes you don't understand why things are the way they are, or you want to judge them, but it's obvious.
Knowing why the way you are is irrelevant. Giving
you,
reasons to the way you are is irrelevant. What's relevant is living your life exactly as you are, because that's exactly what you've got to live.
yeah. And
You know,
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Well, I was just gonna say I've gotten lost with the why and it doesn't get me any, I mean, it's already passed. Like I can't change it as to why. So
Yes, but what is okay. So then I get a question. What does getting lost in the why save you from? Because it does occupy your thoughts when you get lost in that place.
I mean, this might be a thinky answer, but this is something that I think it prevents me from being great, meaning just do it. Just go out and do it. Whatever the X is, to not think about it. And I'm not saying not be responsible or plan or anything, but there's something about just stepping in and maybe
Yes.
and just doing it. If it fails, it fails. If it's great, it's great. Like I think that
But you see,
I
here's the thing. You've told yourself that over and over.
yes.
See, I can tell that you've told yourself that. It's still you listening to the voice in your head, and it dictates how you're supposed to be. Just go for it.
And what if sometimes
I'll
it's
tell-
about doing nothing? You know, I have a go for it thing. Just do it. Just do it. And it's been, you know, when I had surgery to remove the cancer from my breast, and I was in pain afterwards and I was healing, it was a challenge, but I did allow myself to rest. You know, it was a tough because I had conversations. Oh, you should be better by now. I let that go. But with radiation therapy, basically you don't really see a lot of what's going on, but there's repairing inside, and there's damage inside from the radiation. That's, you know, what they're doing. They're killing off the you know, seeds of cancer that might grow into something someday. And I get fatigue, then to do nothing, to allow myself to rest is a challenge. So you actually think it's about going and doing and getting. What if it's about looking and seeing and being appropriate to what's here, which may be, you know what, it's a beautiful day outside, but I don't want to go out. What if I don't?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have all these rules about what makes a better Wendy.
It's true. I'm seeing, yes, they're,
And I also think that you've missed that sometimes when people around you have big life shifts, it has you compare. A friend could get married, someone could die, someone could have a baby, someone could get a home or move, get a dog, get a cat, lose their dog. And then you're like, what about my life?
no, that is accurate. Yes. And yeah, I'm so recently my husband's brother had a baby.
Yeah.
And I think that I had that in there
The
at a very
husband's
low.
brother had a baby. Wow, that's a miracle.
You didn't read about it in Scientific American?
No, Miss Pat, how do you do that?
Did he-
I thought
did
only
he have
women had
Did he have
babies.
someone participate with him in that?
Someone participated, his wife. Yes, they had a baby.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
And yeah, I think there was a low grade, like I
You
didn't see
think?
it. Yeah, I
You
didn't.
think?
I
All I
know.
have is my career, and now I've lost my job.
And I don't have a baby either to keep me up all night. So I have nothing to complain about.
Yes, you are so right.
But I actually like the way you framed it, that your husband's brother had a baby, because somewhere in there, that coupling is getting ahead of your coupling,
yeah.
rather
Yeah, no,
than looking what you guys want. And what you want is what you have.
That's right. You've engineered your life to turn out exactly as it has.
To be childless.
So that you can go sailing if you want. And you don't have to take the little brat to school every day.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get up in arms, those of you who have lovely, lovely children.
Yeah, but
there are days.
We're all brats. See, we were in a Whole Foods store the other day, and there was this little boy being taken around by his mother, and he wanted to be upset, and he was doing the upset, so I did an upset to him. I imitated him.
He imitated him so precisely. He's like, oh, life is so hard. The kid just opened his eyes really big, stopped whining, turned around like, what? It was so funny.
I upstaged him. But, like, kids are not the panacea that parents try to say they are. In fact, kids are the thing that make most people upset most of the time, but they don't like to admit it. Being a biological creature that needs to procreate is what keeps the species going. But it doesn't mean it's fun. I have birds outside my house that have a nest and have the little ones in there, and they work the parents to death. The chicks don't care.
I swear the parents are going, Fledge, please.
Go out on your own already.
Nester. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much. I feel like we covered a lot today.
Well, there's always a lot to cover.
In a blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye.
Yes.
Amazing.
It's all new, in a blink of an eye.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Really a treat.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
By the way, next week's episode is the lead up to the 1000th episode. As we mentioned, it's in 2 weeks. So we're calling it Being Here Turns 1,000. It is, we have several guests coming, talking about some of their favorite episodes over the years. And you're invited to come and partake. And thanks for listening today. This was fun.
Yes.
We'll be back next week.
So come on back.
And don't miss being